Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It's Christine with gaugegirltraining, an online meal planning and coaching service. I'm a food scientist and chemical engineer by training, and in today's video, we're going to talk about the top 10 most common weight loss struggles. So let's get started. Alright guys, so nobody ever said that losing weight is easy. However, if you have struggled at any point along the way in your journey, chances are you probably struggled with one of these top 10 items that I'm about to discuss. I'm going to explain what they are and give you guys some tips for combating these struggles. So weight loss struggle number 1 is lack of motivation. And lack of motivation, you guys, you cannot rely on being motivated, feeling pumped up and energized and ready to go to hit your goals. You need to rely on habit. And one thing that is really effective at overcoming a lack of motivation is to set short-term and long-term goals. What happens is people have these long-term goals where they want to look a certain way by a vacation, or they want to lose some large amount of weight, they want to have abs, they want to do these really big things, and there's nothing wrong with having goals. However, they don't set any short-term intermediate goals on the path to getting there. So if your goal is to lose 50 pounds by June, you better darn well set a bunch of short-term goals in the middle of that process along the way to keep you motivated. You know, one can be something that you accomplish in the first week or things like that. So you want to set short-term goals in addition to your long-term goals. Weight loss struggle number 2 is not knowing how to cook. Now that you're trying to eat healthier and maybe you're just used to relying on eating out or ordering food, and if it's just left up to you and your kitchen, you may be terrified. You may be Sarah Jessica Parker style from Sex and the City, where she just used her oven to store her sweaters. If that's you, you need to learn. It's not hard, and if you can read, you can cook, you guys. It's about following instructions. There are a few very basic principles when it comes to cooking proteins, how to prepare some carbs, as well as different techniques for preparing vegetables that are extremely simple. We have tons of recipe books if you want one, and lots of eating guides to teach you how to cook. But learning how to cook, you have to set aside the intentional time. Stop telling yourself you don't know how to cook. You need to learn how to follow instructions. Weight loss struggle number 3 is you hate feeling hungry. If the idea of losing weight, the first thing you think of is just being hungry and miserable, well, you're gonna have to learn how to manage that. And if you are setting goals that are way too aggressive for you, guess what? You're gonna be hungry, you're gonna be miserable, you'll be perfect on the plan for the first week, 2 weeks max, and then you're ultimately going to binge and end up back to square one in your old habits. What I suggest you guys to do, find foods you like, set reasonable, realistic goals, beef up your meals with lots of veggies that are going to have a lot of volume, a lot of fiber. Drink at least 1 gallon of water a day. Feel free to add extra kale, arugula, spinach. I include things like goals as free foods into my protocols as long as you're not on a keto plan. But make sure that you are setting yourself up for success by not going too aggressive with the meals, by making sure that you are eating regularly, make sure that you are drinking water, because a lot of times people mistake hunger for dehydration. So if you are afraid of feeling hungry, there are ways that you can work around it by making sure that your meals are full with lean proteins, lots of veggies, and things that are going to keep you satiated longer. Weight loss struggle number 4 is it's too expensive. So many people think that you need to shop at Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, or you need to be buying all this crazy non-GMO organic stuff. There's nothing wrong with eating that kind of food if your budget allows. However, you guys, you do not necessarily need to buy the most organic, free-range, whatever to be healthy. There are extremely affordable ways, and if you guys check here below, I actually have a free budget meal plan. This plan is actually, I've had this up for the last 3 years, It has menus that are less than $5 a day for women, less than $7 a day for men. It is extremely easy to be budget conscious if you are being smart about it. So check out that free budget meal plan below by signing up for the newsletter. Weight loss struggle number 5 is you have no time. Guys, there are people who are busier than you, who got more things going on, who are carving out the time. It's not about having the time, it's about making the time. If there is something that you really want to watch on Netflix, you will find the time to do it. You have to carve out time in your week to make sure that you plan your meals in advance. If you have the time to go out to restaurants and do all that, you have the time to get to the grocery store once a week to get your stuff situated. So you have to make the time. Weight loss struggle number 6 is you have no willpower. You just cave every time somebody brings like some donuts into the break room at work, or anytime there is just something in front of you, you have no sense of willpower. And I definitely encourage you guys to take a step back and reconsider your self-control. If you have eaten all the food that you already need and you're already good, you need to be mindful about controlling your actions, because if you're not hungry and you're just eating stuff because you couldn't say no to it, you may have some other issues that you want to look a little bit deeper at. But getting a grasp of the willpower is a lot easier said than done. I think a lot of people just kind of want permission to cheat on their diet. So just make sure that you're setting yourself up for success by avoiding temptation. Loss struggle number 7, this is something I resonate with. You are type A, aka all or nothing. If you are a type A all or nothing person, you are going to want to execute your program perfect. And that's great. There's nothing wrong with wanting to aim high and do a really good job and overachieve. However, I have found, and this is my own experience as well as with some of my clients, when you are type A, sometimes you set yourself up for failure, because if something's not perfect, you are either all in or all out, and it's a very dangerous place to be. So if you do have type A tendencies to be all or nothing, what I encourage you to do is, if you mess up, to not quit, to reset your mind and accept it, move on as soon as the next meal. Do not wait until the next week, the next weekend, the next Monday, the next whatever. Just reset your mind, be like, all right, you brush that off and move forward. Last struggle number 8 is drinking. Drinking is a widely socially acceptable way of bonding, and being inebriated can be fun and social to a certain extent, but it also can be very toxic to your health. It can be very toxic to your liver. It can cause all kinds of issues. And last but not least, I've said this in other videos, I'm going to say it again. When you are processing alcohol, it pauses your body's ability to metabolize fat for the next 48 to 72 hours. You really want to rethink what you're drinking. Even if you budget it into your calories and whatnot and it causes you to not gain weight, that's fine, but you're not going to lose body fat. Alcohol, I would rather you guys switch those calories for alcohol with like cheesecake and food as opposed to drinking, because you cannot burn fat when you are metabolizing alcohol. Weight loss struggle number 9 is you measure all of your progress by the scale. If you have been busting your butt, if you have been on track, you've been measuring your food, you have not had a drink, you have, setting your short-term goals, you are cooking, you're doing all the things, but then you step on the scale and boom, you didn't lose weight, or boom, you might have gained a pound. You cannot measure your progress by the scale. All it gauges is your body's gravitational pull towards the earth. So what you want to do is look at the changes in your measurements. Your weight is going to fluctuate so much. I'm going to do a separate video on what causes your weight to fluctuate, because I have so many people so upset over the scale. Guys, you have to gauge it based off of improvements of your habits, improvements in your strength, improvements in your mental well-being. There are so many other secondary benefits that have nothing to do with the scale. So do not gauge your progress by the scale. Look at your progress photos, look at the changes in your measurements. And last but not least, if there is something that does need to be fine-tuned, very well. However, like 9 times out of 10, it is most likely you putting so much merit on this arbitrary value that does not accurately represent your true state of health. Last but not least, weight loss struggle number 10, emotional eating. This is the kicker for a lot of people. if you are in a bad mood, if you got something going on, if you are stressed, if you are upset, if you have financial problems, if your kids are acting up, if you're going through a breakup, a divorce, you name it, you have problems with friends, family, your kids, mom, step, like all of that. A lot of people can take out their emotions on food, you guys, and this is one of the biggest things that is so crucial to get a grip on, because you can have the best meal plan on the planet, but until you take care of the things that are upsetting you, the things that are causing you to overeat, you are not going to make any progress. So I encourage you, if you have some deep-seated underlying issues that is making it challenging for you to just function stably emotionally, I would encourage you to not focus on weight loss. I'd focus on trying to stabilize your environment and mental well-being first before doing so. So thank you guys for watching. Comment which of these tips applied to you and what struggles you've experienced in the comment section, and I'll see you guys soon in the next one.